Hey y'all! College seems like it's probably very far away, and you're not wrong. You are at the beginning of your high school journey, but you can never be too prepared for what's next. So let's talk about college apps and why it's important to be thinking about them in the ninth grade. This is called a Common Application, Common App for short. You'll hear a lot more about this in the future, but we're going to walk through a few of the sections that are helpful to think about now. Yep, right now at the beginning of your high school career. So, what's the Common App? It's a great way to apply to multiple colleges with just one basic application. You'll notice one thing that's highlighted here. There's a lot of basic information here that colleges will need when you're applying, so you're probably not surprised to see it on the application. There is one thing that's highlighted though, your email address. This is a common slip up for students. Most of you have at least one email address already. You all have your school email address, but we want to be thoughtful about what we put here. I would suggest creating a non-school email that's basic, so not something like minecraftking@yahoo.com or lovelygirl@gmail, to use when interacting with colleges, scholarships, internships, or other organizations. You want something that's easy for them to recognize and easy for you to remember to use. Now that we're done with the basics, let's look at the academic section. This one might seem overwhelming, especially right now before you've really started your high school career, and that's okay. There are a few areas I want us to think about now that you're earning credits. Just as a refresher, let's talk about credits and why they matter. Every semester you successfully complete a course, you earn half a credit. Typically, you have the ability to earn 8 credits every single year because you take 8 classes, meaning that if you pass all of your classes every year that you're in high school, you'll earn 32 credits total. Remember, to graduate from an Academy's high school in Nashville, you need 28 credits to graduate, but they have to be the right ones. Talk to your counselor if you want more details about what those are. The credits that you earn impact more than just your graduation, though. Every credit you earn means that you also earn a grade, and those grades give you a certain number of points. The average of your semester grades equals your GPA, or grade point average. Colleges and some outside organizations look at your GPA. They want to use it to determine whether or not they'll grant you admission to their school, so invite you to attend their school, and sometimes to decide whether or not to give you scholarship money, and that's money that you use to pay for school. It's always easier to start with a high GPA and keep it there than to start with a low GPA and try to increase it later. So we encourage students to do their best to make the highest grades they can as soon as they start their high school classes. Your future self will thank you if you do. So let's talk a little bit about the ACT. There are 2 things that stand out for me. It's a test that can cause a lot of anxiety for students, and it's a test that can be really helpful for students. First things first, we always are looking for students to try their best on any test that they take, and the ACT is no different. No matter the score, if you try your best, we are proud of you. The number you get is not a measure of how much you can accomplish or how smart you are. I will say that the ACT is a test that tests you on what you've learned in high school. So students who are the best prepared are ones who show up to school every single day on time so that they can learn the content. No matter whether you plan to go to college after high school or not, students who show up to class, ask questions, and pay attention are the ones who excel in their chosen careers. A quick note about the SAT. It's a slightly different test that measures slightly different skills. The SAT is less about whether or not you learn specific facts in your class, but it's a test that looks to determine whether or not you can think clearly and carefully about the information they give you and make connections. It's a test of critical thinking. And you'll get lots of chances to practice flexing your critical thinking skills in school. Some students do better on one test versus the other, and we can talk about which one might be the best fit for you a little bit later on in your high school career. While I do want to stress that the ACT and the SAT score that you get is not a measure of your worth, it can be really helpful to use to earn scholarship money. So when you take your first ACT in your junior year and you get a score that might not be exactly what you want, it's a great place to determine where to study more so that you can increase your score and give yourself more options. We always want you to have as many options as possible, and focusing on doing well both in your classes every single day and on the college entrance exams that you take, can help open up doors. During your senior year, colleges will ask what courses you're currently taking, but they'll also get a copy of your transcript. Your transcript tells them all of the classes you've taken over your entire high school career and the grades you've earned every semester. As a ninth grader, most students have a pretty set schedule, but as you continue taking classes in high school, you'll start to have more and more choices. Something we want you to keep in mind is colleges always want to see you taking the most challenging courses that you can be successful in. So this is different for every student, and that's fine. If you find yourself really bored in a math class, talk to your school counselor about taking an honors version instead. Or if you have a passion for theater and think that you might want to do that in college or beyond, take as many theater courses as you can fit into your schedule without messing up graduation requirements. We don't want to overwhelm you with your classwork, but we do want to make sure that you are taking challenging courses to show colleges and universities that you are invested in your success. You are smart and capable. Be sure to ask your counselor to talk to you about how you can choose classes that are the best fit for you. So this is a section I want us to pause and think a little bit about. Did you know that colleges and organizations give out scholarships for more than just good grades? Some schools have scholarships specifically for students who are very invested in service to others, or ones who work really hard at a job after school, or for students who are really good at building robots. Colleges are looking for students who are able to find things that they are interested in and invest in them deeply. They are not necessarily looking for students who change clubs or sports every single year. So we encourage you to think about what you enjoy doing. It could be art or coding, poetry, tennis, something sponsored in your religious community, it can be anything, and choose 2 to 3 things that you want to stick with for at least 2 years. Keep in mind, these activities can be ones that happen in or out of school. It doesn't matter. Also, know that if you want to or need to work, this is just as valuable as an activity or a club. Showing that you are able to get and keep a job shows off a lot of great skills that colleges and organizations are looking for. So what if you don't even want to go to college after high school? That's totally okay. College is not the only way to be successful. We know that most students want to get a very good paying job though, and to do that, you have to be professional, and that's why we want you to change your email address to something professional. Show employers that you are responsible, getting your schoolwork done on time, and always showing up to school on time is a great way to show responsibility, and developing skills. So coding club, grocery store clerk, both are excellent ways to learn skills. We want to help you get success in whatever way makes the most sense for you. So what do we do now? Now that we've gotten through the basics of a college application, let's brainstorm. For some of you, you already know exactly what kinds of clubs and classes you want to take advantage of in high school, and some of you may not have thought about it yet. Here are a couple of things that you can do to make sure that you're set up for success. Check your email address, and if you don't have a professional one, go ahead and create it today. An example of a good way to do this is your first name, and then a period, and then your last name, a period, and your graduation year. So you can also brainstorm what kinds of clubs, organizations, sports you might want to join and research whether or not your school offers them. Just as a reminder, you can always join things outside of school too. Talk to your school counselor, your AVID teacher, your Gear Up coordinator about what classes you could take at your school during your 10th, 11th, and 12th grade year to help you reach your goals. And this one's really important. Go to school on time every day and ask for help when you need it. All the cool kids are doing it, and it's how they're successful. So congrats, you're well on your way to a successful 4 years of high school. Reach out if you need help.